Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today in Invert, and I'm going to be showing you a quick way in order to beat the story mode of this game. So this game is going to consist of 3 worlds with 15 levels each. What you want to do is you want to make sure you go into Start Game. After the opening cutscene, just make sure you start up the first level in the first world. You want to make sure you hit the Start button, which is going to pause the game, and you can use this handy dandy cheat code in order to open up the cheat menu. It's going to be up, up, down, down, up, up, right, left, left, right, Y. Go into cheats and then just hit the go to level N, and that should skip past the level. What you want to do is you want to make sure you do this for every single level until the last level. You actually do have to beat the last level in order for it to count towards your achievement. So just make sure you do this for the first 14 levels, and then once you get to level 15, you should encounter the boss fight of that specific world. So just make sure you keep count every time you use one of the skips. Just make sure you don't accidentally skip past the boss, and you should be good for your achievement. Now, keep in mind, you actually do have to go about beating the boss in order to get your achievement. The boss fights are going to be a little tough, especially since we use the level select cheat code to skip past the entirety of the game. And because of that, you probably aren't too used to the game's mechanics. That being said, although the boss fights are going to be quite difficult, it's not too impossible, especially with enough practice. Keep in mind you do have infinite lives, so make sure you take advantage of them, and you should be able to beat the boss in no time. Once you manage to beat the first boss, you should clear World 1 and get the appropriate achievement. That's fine. It's going to be for 100 gamer score. That should kick you back to the main menu. Just head back to the level select screen and then right bumper over to World 2. Start up the first level, hit start, and then the cheat menu should still be there. And just make sure you use the same cheat code until you get to level 15. So just make sure you do this for the first 14 levels, and we should arrive at boss fight number 2, which is going to be similar to the first boss fight with a few new gimmicks added. Just make sure you use what you've learned in boss fight number 1 and apply that appropriately with the new strategies for the new gimmicks thrown your way in this boss fight, and you should be able to get through this a-okay as well. Again, quite frustrating, but once again, with enough practice, you should be able to get a rhythm down, and you should manage to beat the boss a-okay. Once you manage to take care of the World 2 boss, we should be good for another achievement. This one's going to be making progress. It's going to be for another 100 gamer score. Then it's going to be back to the level select screen. Make sure you right bumper back to World 3. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure you start up the first level, go back to the pause menu, go back into the cheat menu, and just use the cheats to warp yourself all the way to the last level. So just make sure you keep count, make sure you stop at 15, and then we should be good for the final boss of the game, which is going to be the level 3 boss. This one is going to be quite tricky with that laser you have to deal with, so just make sure you learn the appropriate patterns for this one. My best advice for this boss fight is to jump over the laser when it's heading to the right and you heading towards the left, and to go underneath it when you are trying to go to the right and then it going to the left. So once the World 3 boss has been taken care of, you should be good for your last story-based achievement. There it is, a bit more for another 100 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.